cloud platform. Um, it's our new platform. We're going to have cloud storage as well as cloud management. It includes an end user and installer interface, but it includes the products, IP cameras, or solar solutions, cloud switches, as well as access control. The advantages of it is it's very flexible and scalable. You can add multiple items all in one interface, and as an installer, you can definitely manage it all. And as a user, you can interface with um, all the items from one dashboard. You have global access. This is based on Amazon AWS, so you have global access wherever you want, and very little downtime. Works well, very fast and convenient. Then you have management and remote maintenance. You have an online portal that you can, from anywhere, you can add users, do permissions for access control. You can also do stuff like seeing maps of where your solar solutions are located, as well as organizational stuff for your users as well. We have advanced features and innovations such as our advanced AI, human vehicle detection, as well as metadata searching and that kind of cataloging as well. And lastly, we have data security and redundancy. All the cloud cameras will have SD cards, and they have backwards automatic network replenishment that will allow for data recovery back into the cloud even if you lose network connection. So as I was saying before, we have 4 different categories. We have cameras, solar solutions, cloud switches, and access control that all can be accessed by the end user from a easy dashboard. For our cameras, you'll have the traditional offerings that I'm sure you're very familiar with: active deterrence, hybrid illumination, as well as the color 24/7 sensors that give great clarity at night. As for the AI that we have with our cameras, at the base level, we have our light AI, which includes object classifications, human and vehicle detection, just on a very low basis with motion detection. Even though we call it light AI, it's still very powerful in terms of classifying and being able to recognize human and vehicle detection. On the more advanced level, we have our Pro AI, which also includes human metadata and vehicle type classifications. Now, with this, you can also search for these kind of extra descriptors of the objects you're trying to look for, including things like clothing color for humans or vehicle types. If you're looking for a car, a bus, or SUV, they'll have different classifications you can search for, and they also tag inside the cloud that you can search through and look through. All right, moving on to our managed switches. We're going to start out with pretty light managed switches. Well, I really want to call them managed switches. They're more like smart switches because they'll have device detection as well as a port configuration where you can power cycle a port, check the status of any items on the port, stuff like that. On the more advanced side in the future, we'll have managed switches that also include advanced functionalities like VLAN configuration and link aggregation and things like that. Okay. Moving on, we have our solar solutions. And I know a lot of people are really interested in the solar trailer, as well as the solar panel and kit. That you have a great amount of power there. Most of these actually will be able to last without sunlight at least 3 to 5 days. So with the battery pack that's included with this, it runs standalone, no wires, no necessary extra hookups. You can mount it to the wall just like you see over there. And these will run by themselves. They do run on our xCloud platform, so you do need to use the xCloud devices, but it allows 4G communication. And currently we're working on I believe T-Mobile compatibility, but there will possibly be other compatibilities as well. With these solar solutions, also you have a dashboard that allows you to manage and track the battery usage, the battery charging capabilities, and also give you low power warnings when something goes low and there's some issue with it, so you can address the issue before the camera goes out. With the solar trailer, you also get a GPS module that will actually track where that is. So in case it gets stolen or anything, you still know where it's at, and you can always go and recover it. So a little bit of recovery there, and it's kind of safety measures. It's pretty nice to have. And then moving on, finally, our access control. Now, traditionally, most of the access control you see is very Windows-based or computer-based. You have to be on site to deal any kind of management. You have to add credentials, add permissions, any of that needs to be done on site. However, with our cloud access control, you'll be able to do that remotely. Everything will be all web-based, and you'll be able to access it remotely, do your credential management. If your customer calls you and says, hey, I need to add another user, you don't have to go on site. You can do this from your home if you really want to. And it supports a lot of more of the high-end features too that I'm not sure too many people use, but there's stuff like first card access, multi-card access, anti-passback, interlock, multi-door. So there's a lot of other extra features that you can utilize as well. For the access control module, it does support weekend, and you can use your own readers, but we also have our own readers. We will have a Bluetooth reader that will be able to utilize with your phone to open doors, as well as standard key card, key fob options, and finally the keypad, where I think that's the most popular. Most people just want to type in a code or something like that to get in, and that will allow you to do that. One special feature about this is that there will be enough power to actually run the electric strike locks on the module itself. So you don't have to add extra power for that. However, if you do use mag locks, I do recommend using a separate power module because you may want a battery back up that as well. I'm not sure exactly the actual power for that right now. When we do release the products, we'll have that information available. Okay. And finally, in terms of installer and end user kind of utilization of this, you'll have two different dashboards, one for the installer, one for the end user. The installer portion actually doesn't have access to a lot of stuff, but they do have like device management and health monitoring and stuff like that for the actual devices. But the major part about the installer portion is that they can deal with the license subscriptions. Now, this will be license subscription based because it is cloud-based storage. So there needs to be some subscription cost for that for the storage capability. But it allows you to actually manage that from the installer level by tying different licenses to different devices. And let's say you have a device that kind of goes out or dies, the license isn't permanently tied to that. You can disassociate it, get a replacement, and reapply the license back to it, so you don't have to buy another license. Pretty easy. On the end user side of point of view, you'll get your access to your devices like your live feeds, your playbacks, your event searching, but it also allows you to, on the end user side, to create sub profiles so that you have your own user management in case you have other users that want to use the system, and you can do permission checking or permission changing for different devices so that different people will have different access to different products. So here's an example of the partner interface. Again, like I mentioned, you have device health monitoring. You have the end user customer management. You create different profiles for your customers to use, and you can tie different devices to those profiles so you can allocate different sites, different end users that you deal with as well. You can order license through the actual software as well, the web portal, and it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to do too much. I'm not sure if the payment portion will actually be embedded in that, but that's something you would deal with your LTS sales rep. But once those are authorized, you can divvy those out however you want to whatever devices, and move those around if you need to manage those as well for the device subscription allocation. Okay. And then finally, we have the end user interface. This is what your end user will generally see. It does have the web portal, but it also comes with the mobile app functionality as well, like for video surveillance and stuff. Definitely, just like standard NVR, if you access it, you get multi-screen device monitoring. You can get quick event search and playback, as well as real-time notifications, just like you get on our current Platinum line with the LTS Connect app. You get those push notifications. I'm sure a lot of people always want those. So you will have access to that, as well as a device mapping where you can see where you actually place your items, and on from a map actually view live view. So it makes it a little bit easier to kind of organize your products and geographically. And then finally, they can see the license subscriptions as well. And then at the end, they have their own end user sub management creating profiles for different levels of access. Now, this is really nice because the end user doesn't actually get to see any of the costs of the license subscription. So one of the best things that installers is to get residual income. So what they can do is we charge you for the license. If you feel free, you want to mark it up, you can charge your customer whatever cost that is. You want to mark it up, and you can make a residual monthly fee on top of that too, which is pretty requested. I mean, it's most of our other access control or video surveillance products don't really get a residual income stream like that. But for the xCloud stuff, it gives you the ability to tap into that and make some extra money. And everybody likes that, right? So that's the end of my presentation for xCloud. Any questions or anything? Okay. Well, feel free to take a look at our demos. We have our xCloud system already all set up in the back. You can take a look at all the demo setup. Talk to a sales rep or one of the LTS associates around here. They can walk you through all that in the back. All right. Thank you for joining.